Hi and welcome to this vlog. Today is moving day. The goats have been inside since late October, and today is the day that they're gonna come out on the paddock for the first time since then. Now they have been out now and then to stretch their legs, but this is the first time they're going back there, so I can imagine that they're very happy for going back. And also the little kids have gotten their sea legs, so they are jumping around and having fun, and it's gonna be great to see them out there. This is the one place you shouldn't be. The one place. Unfortunately, the goats are not made for Swedish winter, even though we do have Jämtget, that is a form of Swedish goat. They don't do well in the cold climate, we think. So we keep them inside over winter. And I think that is the norm in Sweden. I'm not sure if anyone have them outside. I mean, if I were to have them outside, I would need a blanket for all of them, and I would still think it would be too cold. So they do prefer themselves when it's the coldest day to be inside, but we just keep them inside all of winter because there's really nothing out here to eat when it's winter. So they receive the hay and also a good amount of oats over the winter to make it through. Okay, form a line. Everyone, please calm down. Bebop here is the one I think longs most for coming out, because he has absolutely torn the chicken coop apart. It is just their behavior. They have horns, they want to use them. So we have upgraded his little training area. Last time he had, or before, he had a stump with some pieces of broom on it, so he could scratch his horns up against the bristles. And this time we actually got a tiny boxing bag, again, for free. So I think he's gonna enjoy that a lot. He still has a lot of broom bristles on some stumps, so he can use his horns on them because they love that behavior. And as you can tell, he is cruising for a bruising, and he wants to use himself a little more than he has been able to in here. Okay. Mini. No. You need that. Give him up. Oh. Yeah. Come on, Minnie. Wait. Come on, mate. Beep beep. Wait. Minnie. Minnie. Nej. Oj, han gick den forkerte vej. Nej. Nej. Det synes han ikke var godt. Nej. Oi. Come on, Minnie Mouse. Oj. Går det? Jeg skal lige rundt. Men endelig. Nej, det skal jeg ikke. Okay. Come on. Så kan du tage den af også. Så. Og Marken.
Kommer han derhen, ikke tilbage?
Ja, ja. Bare læg lidt på marken, sådan, så du ikke bliver overfaldet.
Se her.
Ja.
Se her. Se her.
Løb.
Shot. Shot. Nej, der er et kid. Kan jeg høre damerne der?
Jo.
Nej. Kom.
You're a king.
Nå. Der kommer han på legepladsen.
Mm.
Og ja, han kan godt huske det der hårfløde.
Ja. Ja, det har det. Okay. Han skal måske lige tusse sig først.
Så kommer lige det.
Dear Lord. Kom ind med.
Nå, men lige nu så spiser han. Så keder han sig ikke. Nå, lille skat. Du er da også dum at løbe i.
The fun part is over. The goats has settled in their pen and now the work can begin. Now we keep about, I would say, 60 to 70% of all manure and ground covering. So that is leftover hay, straw and shavings. And we do that to create really good soil to grow in. It is a lot of work, but it feels good to be able to turn over all this and make something useful out of it. Of course, it has been useful in winter. It does keep them warm because this is like layers of droppings and ground covering. So it will create a warm environment for them to lay down in because of the bacterial growth. This also means that the turnover process has begun. So the bacteria is already processing the hay and shavings, and it's ready to be made into soil. So right here behind me is where we store the manure for it to compost. As you can see, the pile in the middle, that is the oldest one, and that has already grass growing on top of it because it is ready to be placed out in the garden, and stuff can grow on it now. It's no longer acidic and will no longer burn the plants. On each side of the oldest pile, you can see the fresh manure. So we usually have, we never change up the soil, so to speak. So we never mix them. We just make piles, and then they do what they have to. They compost, and then we take from them. So we never shift up the ground or turn it over or anything. It just lays here. It gets rained on. And all the bugs and mushrooms and bacteria does its thing. And then when we see things are growing on it, that's when we know it's ready. Also, we can just tell from looking at it. As you can see, this pile right here is green manure. So you can see the droppings. And as you can see here, this one has composted over winter. So it is already, you can tell that there is droppings in it, but it has composted, so now it's just tree fiber. So this is ready, and this one is also green manure. As you can tell, we do use a lot every year. We make enough for the whole garden, so we really need a lot, and that's why we never throw it out. All the straw, the hay, the leftover hay especially, that is the best thing that we keep, because that composts the best. Wood shavings are, well, they're wood fiber, so they take a lot longer for the bacteria and mushrooms to compost. So we prefer to use the leftover hay and straw if we can. Of course there will be shavings in it, but that is just good for a mix of things to compost. Feeding the worms. Because horse manure is just basically plant fiber chewed up and then it comes out at the other end, there is no real reason to have a lot of more fiber in it when it composts, because it already has the stuff for it to compost into a nice soil. As you can see here, this soil here, I think it's about a year old, so this was fresh horse manure a year ago. We usually always top them off in winter. We just didn't have the time this year to get to this spot, but everywhere else got but this one. And this is for our potatoes, so they are quite heavy feeders, so they need a lot of good soil. So they're gonna get some of the manure from the goat stables with a lot of shavings in it, or a lot of leftover hay and straw in it. And I think they're gonna love it. As you can see, we have two big beds. We have one over here, one over there, and we have one here. And we have potatoes in one of them, and we have sunchokes in the other one. And we find that if we have big plants and tubers and stuff that take good roots and we have to dig them up afterwards, we can put on a lot of fresh manure and straw, because the soil will take care of the fresh manure and just compost it so much quicker than if it was in a pile. And I'm guessing that's all the bugs and the bacteria and fungus in it that makes it compost faster. I hope this gave you a little information about how we keep the goats that we did in the start, and just how we use the stuff that the animals leave behind for us to take care of, because we do use all of it actually. So we're very happy for it to be a part of the ecosystem.